Ifeoluwa was the only light in her mother's dark world. Her father had died when she was just 5, leaving behind nothing but memories and an ocean of struggles. From that tender age until she was 24, it was her mother who bore the cross of poverty, fetching firewood, washing clothes for neighbors, skipping meals just to see her only child smile. They were paupers in every sense of the word. Sometimes even one meal a day was a miracle. Yet in all their lack, Ife and her mother were rich in love. They laughed together, cried together, prayed together. Her mother often said, "You are the only treasure I have left in this world." One fateful afternoon, Mrs. Rebecca, a childhood friend of Ife's mother, visited. She came with news that a wealthy couple in the city, Mr. and Mrs. Hassan, were in search of a maid and were ready to pay generously every month. The offer sounded like a door opening in the desert of their lives. Ife's mother was torn between two agonies, the pain of parting with her daughter and the ache of poverty that never loosened its grip. That night, she sat on their worn-out mat, lost in thought. She couldn't sleep. Tears welled in her tired eyes. Ifeoluwa, half awake, noticed her mother's silence. "Mama, why aren't you sleeping?" she asked softly, stretching her frail body. With a broken voice, her mother explained everything. Ife smiled faintly. "Mama, if this will ease your burden, I'll go. I'll do anything to take care of you." The next morning, Mrs. Rebecca returned and took Ifeoluwa to the city. That was the beginning of her journey in the Hassan household. At first, everything seemed normal. Mr. Hassan was kind, often telling Ife to rest when he saw her overworking. But Bola, his wife, was the storm in her sky. She backed orders, called her names, mocked her poverty, and reminded her daily that she was nothing. Ife endured in silence, never telling her mother the depth of her pain. Each night she cried alone in her small room, whispering prayers and longing for her mother's embrace. One evening, after Bola had scolded her endlessly, Ife sat weeping, her thoughts wandering home. Bola called out to her, but Ife, lost in sorrow, didn't hear. Enraged, Bola stomped into the room. "Oh, so you now count my voice before you answer me, eh?" she thundered. "No, madam. Please, I didn't hear you. Forgive me," Ife pleaded. But Bola's anger blinded her. In a moment of cruelty, she grabbed the pressing iron on the table and smashed it against Ifeoluwa's head. Silence. A heavy, cold silence. Ife's lifeless body slumped to the floor. Bola froze, the weight of her deed sinking in. Her screams drew her husband, Bode, who rushed in and stopped dead at the sight of the innocent girl lying motionless. "What happened, Bola?" he shouted. But Bola could only weep, unable to speak. Fear gripped them both. In desperation, they conspired to hide the crime. That midnight, under the cover of darkness, they carried Ifeoluwa's body to a river and threw her in, discarded like nothing. The next week, they visited her mother and lied. "Your daughter ran away," they said, pretending that Bola had only been scolding her in love. Her mother didn't believe them. "My Ife will never do that," she whispered, her voice breaking. But they convinced her otherwise and left her shattered. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Ife's mother searched the city tirelessly, crying on street corners, showing strangers her daughter's picture if they had seen her. No one had. Night after night, she wailed, her tears soaking her pillow, calling the name of her only child. But heaven had heard. Months later, Bola employed another maid, a beautiful young woman named Tenny. What she didn't know was that Tenny was the reincarnation of Ifeoluwa. Quiet, gentle, but carrying the fire of vengeance. Strange things began to happen, but these contracts collapsed mysteriously. Important files vanished. Bola had terrifying dreams, nightmares of Ifeoluwa standing in the dark hallway, her eyes flooded with tears, whispering, "Mama is still crying. Mama is still crying. Mama is still crying." Bola woke up breathless, drenched in sweat, her peace gone. Soon she could no longer sleep. Insomnia consumed her. Fear shadowed her every step. Bode, exhausted by the torment, confided in his mother. She took him to a pastor. After praying, the pastor revealed the truth. The blood of an innocent girl cries against you. Her spirit will not rest until justice is done. You must beg her mother for forgiveness. At first, they refused. Pride chained them. But weeks later, Bola fell mysteriously ill. Her health declined rapidly, and within days she died in torment. Bode was shaken, terrified. He knew death was at his door too. In desperation, he and his mother went to Ifeoluwa's mother. They knelt before her begging. The poor widow wept bitterly, her voice echoing pain. "You killed my only child, because I am poor. You threw away my treasure like trash. May God himself be the judge between you, because the only crime I see here that we committed is because we are poor. Oh God, my ifeoluwa, where are you?" Her tears fell like fire. She forgave, yet the wound in her heart never healed. Bode promised to take care of her, but nothing, no money, no gift could fill the emptiness her daughter's death had carved. Ifeoluwa's story became a haunting tale in the city, a reminder that the cry of the poor may be silent, but it always reaches heaven. The moral lesson is never look down on anyone because of poverty. Tomorrow is uncertain. The cry of the innocent never goes unheard. God himself fights for them. Anger and cruelty destroy more than they build, and a parent's tears for their child carry weight in heaven. Whatever a person sows, they will surely reap, even if it takes time. The end.